Hello and welcome to Rule of Three's video review for Magicka 2, adventure game from Paradox Entertainment for the PlayStation 4 and PC. So I like Magicka. The first game I thought was really fun, but I never really got into the single player. It was definitely one of those games that I had to have other people to play just because they increase the fun. And I expected something similar from Magicka 2. I never played Wizard Wars, which is the PvP game that's set in between the events of 1 and 2, and I'll talk about that in the story. On the whole, Magicka 2 is a decent follow-up, while not quite as good as the original. It still has all the humor and kind of fun co-op that the original had. So the story of Magicka 2 is, this takes place a couple of, I think, years after the Magic War, or the Mage Wars, which, if you never played Magicka, the Wizard Wars, Magicka Wizard Wars, basically all the wizards kind of turned on each other and started killing each other. And this caused for a great amount of magic to be released, not only killing all the wizards and bringing pretty much the golden era of humans now that the wizards weren't burning down their towns trying to save them in an accident and stuff like that. However, all the magic released is now going into an infant of prophecy. This infant contains all the magic released from the Wizard Wars, and it's up to the new wizards who have been recruited by Vlad, who is still not a vampire, to find the child before the forces of darkness do. The story on the whole, once again, it's still pretty Magicka. It's pretty funny, a lot of good character interactions and kind of silly jokes. Once again, Magicka was never really a really story-heavy game. There's just more kind of just silly jokes and silly things going on, and the game does continue that. Gameplay is probably the most changed, at least if you've played Magicka 1 and not Wizard Wars. I never got into Wizard Wars because I never big on PvP. But anyway, basic controls still work the same. We're going to have different kinds of, a couple of different basic spells like life, death, earth, lightning, fire, water, ice, and you can combine these elements to some extent to create different kind of powerful magics. Like death and fire makes kind of a fire death beam. Same with ice and death. Life and earth will do kind of a healing shield, and so on and so forth. You make these do different things and kill your enemies as quickly as possible without dying. The difference between this and really Magicka 1 is the amount of combinations. The amount of combinations have been lowered drastically, not by half, but maybe a third of the original spells are back from at least when we were experimenting and playing around with and looking up things. But on the whole, you know, the magic spelling, the spelling is still fun. Crossing beams is always fun, and doing different combinations and playing multiplayer is a lot of fun with the spell system, and it still works really well. While not as, you know, doesn't have the biggest variety that like Magicka 1 had. The spells are a little bit more balanced, and there's not like just super OP spells like Magicka 1 had. The other difference is the difficulty. Difficulty in this game is much harder than Magicka 1 in my experience, and this caused one of my biggest issues with Magicka 2, which is this game is almost impossible to play solo. You can do it, but it's really difficult, really frustrating, and just doesn't work as well as Magicka 1 did on the solo front. This game is definitely best played with people. We were doing the Let's Play, and I enjoyed the game much, much more than I did playing solo, which I didn't care for. So this is heavily dependent on multiplayer, in my opinion, which is both good and bad. Because Magicka 1 was always fun, you know, was always more fun to play with people. Magicka 2 is the same, but like I said, the downfall is this: if you're planning on playing this solo, it's just not quite as good. Other gameplay elements is you collect things, change your appearance, stuff like that, a lot of collectibles. And that's really it. The systems are pretty deep in terms of what you can do and kind of mess with. There's some quick spell slots. First, you can make those for some of your favorite spells, and that comes in handy, especially Revive. And yeah, it's still fun, but like I said, it's just missing, I guess, the variety and not as big of a difficulty curve as Magicka 1, or has more of a difficulty curve than Magicka 1.
Nespatsen langt bort I sikken skjallet nostrir, asker factor. Vilsna visi, bara högerhänta.
So Magicka 2, while I don't think is a disappointment, is not quite as good as the original Magicka. I think Wizard Wars influenced this one a lot more, and I never played Wizard Wars, so I can't say how much, how much is stayed the same from Wizard Wars. But at least from Magicka 1 to Magicka 2, there's been some big changes. I'm giving Magicka 2 a rent verdict. However, if you can find people to play this game with and buy the game and play with you, this game gets a buy rating. But for at least the solo and the purpose of this review, it's a rent. Just because the solo experience just wasn't as good, and I don't know, it was only fun when we did multiplayer. The story is still, funny, but it's just, I don't know, it just lacks some of the stuff that one had. And that's it for this review. So next week, I believe, is nothing. The next games I will be reviewing, I believe, are Batman Arkham Knight and Final Fantasy Heaven's Ward, which will probably actually be the week after. Because the month of June is a desolate wasteland for gaming. Instead, there'll probably be some retro reviews going up. I haven't done a couple of those in a week and here in a while. I need to get back into those. I just don't have a lot of time anymore due to my job. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to check out ruler3.com for all our news, let's plays, giveaways. This will be the first. Yeah, I'm gonna announce it in this video. We are doing a giveaway for June. The rules and how to enter will be on the website. So check out ruler3.com if you want to enter into the contest, and it's fairly simple this time around. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us, Facebook, Twitter, all of those other things that I say at the end of these videos. And until next time, remember to trust in the rule of 3.